One, two, three, four.
My name is Anuschka Wright. What brought me to jazz? Actually, as opposed to most jazz musicians, I didn't discover jazz until I was around 18, and that was because my mother took me to a friend of hers who is pretty much the jazz man in the Bahamas, Adrian Diagler, plays upright basses, very well known in the Bahamas, and so she took me to see him because at the time I started to write my own songs, and that was her only music contact, and she thought he would be able to help me out. So what he did instead was got me addicted to jazz music. I saw it played live for the first time, and he sent me a whole lot of different content and different singers to check out. And so that was when I first got hooked by jazz. My original goal before going into music was actually to become a surgeon, reconstructive surgeon. And so I had started to work full-time in music, well, actually part-time, to try and save up for school. And I started to feel that I liked it and kind of wanted to do it, but I decided to give my first passion a chance. So I went to school for a year, and I loved the program, and the people were very nice, but I felt like I was infiltrating something. Like I didn't feel as connected with people there as much as I did when I was working in music and working with musicians and artists of that sort. So that kind of solidified my decision for me, and then I dropped out of school. Which made my parents elated. They were so happy. So that's what made the decision.
Okay, so moving from the Bahamas to attend school in Montreal, what was that experience like?
For me, it was pretty chill. In terms of traveling and living abroad, I feel pretty comfortable wherever I'm at. I found. So I always say I'm going home no matter which end I'm at. So if I'm in the Bahamas, I'll say I'm going home to Montreal. But with Montreal specifically, it felt immediately comfortable. I love the air, the vibe was just, it felt good to be here. And I always kind of felt that shift when I got back here. So,
What inspired Black Hawk?
Right. So that was inspired by someone else, actually. A guy came up to me. He's been out to my shows a few times and liked the way that I interpreted that song. And he has this movie idea that he wants to do and put out. So he actually offered to help me with the video if I would record the song. So, which is a great opportunity. If you've seen the video, the quality is amazing. And I'm so happy that I had the chance to do it. And I did like the song. It's not something that I necessarily would have recorded myself if led to it, but I have always liked the song. So overall, I'm just completely happy with how it turned out and getting some outside inspiration to say, hey, why don't you do this thing? And it's definitely what I feel like my best project.
In this weekday room.
The recording itself of the video, actually, we did all one takes. So I think we did 3 takes of the song and 3 live takes with band and studio recorded at the same time. But there was no after editing, there was no overdubbing afterwards. It was, outside of mixing and mastering. What you hear is what you got, and so it was all photo magic after that. So it was an interesting project for me because I had to sing and perform at the same time, which was new to me. I never had to do that, and then also right after, remember what I did to take believable, like multiple shots of this thing. So it's like sing a song, now lip sync to it, like in a matter of maybe 4 hours or something like that. So it was a fun experience, the whole process of that. So yeah, super happy about it.
It's a really fun project.
I recorded 2 songs for Luke Horimoto's big band project called the Fat Cake Big Band, and so we're gonna be. It's the first time I'll be performing with the band, and so yeah, that's gonna be at the Liaisons this Friday, Saturday, and and I haven't performed with a big band in a really long time, so I'm super looking forward to it. One of it is an original of his that he wrote called Du Montreal, and it's kind of like a story of his process and his leaving of Montreal, because he lived here for a time and now he's away. So it's like, this kind of sad love song to Montreal. Anyway, it's a very interesting project, and yeah, excited for that as well.
Greatest lessons so far.
I think for me, it was kind of a continuation because I had started in music very green, working with top professionals. So I had already kind of been in this space of being open to unrest and not being comfortable, but doing it anyway, kind of thing. So that prepped me for when I first came to Montreal and Concordia, whereas it was the first time I was studying music, and not just studying music, but starting to study music at university level. So I'm in class with people who've already had 2 or 3 years of college studies, or, like as most, especially in jazz, those guys, you tend to get into music when they're like 3, 5, so all this stuff that they were like, oh, we know you guys know this, but we're just going to check on you to see how this was. I was having panic attacks. So for me, it was like, it was very, I wouldn't say humbling, but it helped me to ground myself into who I was, and, to be okay with starting at the bottom, and being honest with what my level was. Because when you get faced with those types of situations, it's easy to want to hide and to want to, try and protect your ego, but I think that was one of the first times where I actually just kind of, every class that I went into, the first thing I did was go to the teacher and tell him, hello, my name is Anuschka Wright, and I have no idea what's going on. So yeah, so I think my greatest lesson would have been to be honest about where you are and not let that hold you back. And it's okay to just be at the level you're at.
Where would you like to be, or where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I would like to see myself hopefully a lot more settled in my finances and having built up more of a solid footing in professional musicianship. I'd like to clear up some space for myself to go back into my to pursuing artistry full time. And 10 years, it's open for me. I know I've read all the self-help books and all those things that say you have to have a clear plan, but in a lot of ways, it's not so about where I want to be as opposed to who I want to be as a person. And so I have a very clear idea of who the person I want to become, and I believe that person is going to bring in a lot of opportunities that will suit me. So I definitely want to hope that I still be in music, And if not, I have a gazillion business ideas like you know, like who knows?
I'm hanging out on Sunday in this weekday room. I'm talking to the shadows, 1 o'clock to 4. And Lord, how slow those moments go. And all I do is pour